Welcome to this intro video for Legend of Mythra, one of the latest releases by Mindstone Games. I'm going to be showing you all the core elements of this game: movement, missile, melee and morale. And in the next tutorial I'll show you things like magic, monsters, heroes, objectives and the like. So we're just going to go through the core elements of the game. I'll just talk you through the two sides quickly. On this side we've got the Kingdom of Mythra forces. They're an alliance of the three most powerful human realms. It's kind of a typical human army. It's a low fantasy kind of feel. You've got men-at-arms in full plate armour. You've got warriors who are quite heavily armoured. Lots of variety of weapons. You've got mounted nobles. Very good militia, longbowmen, crossbowmen, that kind of thing. They've got very good heroes, and they're backed up by the Royal Beast Corps of Mythra, which is like things like wyverns and giant eagles and the like. So they're kind of your standard human army, which everyone's collection can represent. And on this side, we have the hordes of Pohjola, very much inspired by the great Finnish bards. This is more your typical horde army, kind of, orcish warriors, less quality, higher numbers. They're still decent warriors, but yeah, not quite as accurate in combat. Where it differs from the traditional orc horde is you've got undead as well. Limited numbers of undead in the army. You've got giant eagles, giant bears, and the hordes have some very good heroes. So whilst their troops are slightly lower quality than regular humans, their heroes, some of them are really good. But in this battle, we're just going to do a very, very straightforward clash. Now, normally in Legend of Mythra, the player who finished deploying first would have the initiative, and they would keep the initiative until their opponent took the initiative back by scoring more objective points. So in this game, we're going to assume it's like turn 2 or 3 because they're quite close together, the two armies. And I'm just going to give the Kingdom player the initiative, but yeah, just for the sake of the tutorial. And because there's no objectives to take, the Hordes player cannot seize the initiative, but we'll cover that in another tutorial. So we'll just jump straight into a turn. So the Kingdom player is now going to move. So I'm going to move this man at arms, who can move up to 5 inches. He's going to move forwards. Yeah, because the Kingdom have the initiative, they're going to resolve their movement first, which has its cons as well as its pros. He's going to move there. Let's just move a militiaman forward. Now your guys is actually going to run. Your infantry can run 2 extra inches. So this militiaman moves 6 plus up to 2. He's going to go up to there. Cavalry can move and run up to 4 inches. But this mounted noble, he's got a crossbow, so he has to be stationary to shoot, so he's not going to move. Now, as you can see, this archer is a bit exposed now, so what I'm going to do is move this warrior over. This warrior's got a big shield, so he'll be good protection. Now, because the warrior is in direct base contact with the archer, this archer can draw line of sight through him, and he's relatively well covered as well. Line of sight is literal, so if you can see the target, you can shoot it. So this guy is basically covering him for now. I've got another warrior here with a great axe. He's going to move and run behind there. And then we've got a militiaman for spear. Now in Legend of Mythra, unlike other fantasy games, the spear and the halberd pole arms are the king of the battlefield. They cost more points though, but they've got numerous advantages which you're going to see when we get into battle. So he's going to come forward to support his man. So that's the first turn, that the Kingdom have done. You've got decent line of sight. Let's see what the Horde player does. First of all, now I'm going to come up this way if it's archer, 4 inches and then 2. So in Legend of Mythra, your archers are quite mobile. I mean, some weapons like crossbows can't move and shoot, but most bows, javelins and the like can move, and it's very wise in this game. Get your archers into good positions so you can pick off vulnerable enemies, and so that you've got line of sight. So it's often a good idea to move with your archers. Stay mobile. This game's all about taking ground, getting into position. This warrior on steed is going to come up to here. He's got a javelin. He's going to come up to here, and he can now draw line of sight to this archer, which is quite a good position. He's got 9-inch range. So yeah. Oh, you can check range anytime you want. So very tactical game. It's very tactical, very quite precise as well with your battle plan. I'm going to move this warrior forward 6 inches. And you see, going second, it has the disadvantage that your enemy can take ground and can charge and so on, but it has the advantage that you're reacting to him. So you can maneuver your troops out of missile range if you want. You can move your halberds. This halberdier in here is now going to come forward 6 inches. Now, because halberds and spears have 2-inch range, now because it's the player's turn, he can get into spear range of him while staying out of spear range of the kingdom player. So there's lots of advantages to this. The downside is that he's now visible to this guy here. So actually, tell a lie, I'm going to have to run him forwards to prevent him from getting shot. Basically, Legend of Mythra, two-handed weapon troops like halberdiers, great weapons, they tend to be quite vulnerable to archery because they don't have shields. He's going to come up to there. This guy's got line of sight to a plate armoured man at arms. That is really pushing it. It's kind of not worth him even trying to shoot. Can he see he can't quite see the man. This guy's going to move. Even though it's going to -1 to his shooting, he's going to move up to here. So he can draw line of sight now to this cavalryman. He's a bit higher than most, so he can draw line of sight there. And finally, I'm going to move this halberdier back here. So next turn he can run out and go to where he's needed. So that is the Horde player's movement phase. Now we go into shooting. Shooting in this game is simultaneous. So one player will roll their dice first, but if you lose a model to shooting, they'll still get to fire back before they're removed, and they still block line of sight until the end of the phase. So basically you only remove models at the end of the phase. So we're going to roll for the kingdom player first. This mounted crossbowman, who is the juiciest target, he can draw line of sight to that guy. So he's going to fire a crossbow bolt. He hasn't moved, so he can shoot. A mounted noble has skill 3+. Skill is for missile weapons and melee weapons. So 3+ with his crossbow. This is now a missile attack. He scored a hit. Crossbows are -1 armor penetration. This warrior has a 4+ save and a shield, which takes him up to a 3+, which then goes back down to a 4+ because of the crossbow bolt. So he's failed, dramatically failed. It's a perfect shot right through the visor. I'm going to put this wound marker on to represent that he's dead, but we're only going to remove casualties at the end of the turn. He'll still get to shoot. Now I've got this archer here. He has an enemy with a shield and quite decent armor in range, which is no good. This archer is going to take a pot shot at this guy up here. He needs a 4 or more to hit, and that Hordeling archer has no armor save. So he's got lucky and hit again. I think the same thing happened in the last tutorial, so that guy will also be removed at the end of the turn. So that is the kingdom player's shooting. Now we're going to resolve the Horde's player's shooting. This warrior with javelin moved, but because javelins can move and shoot without penalty, he's still hitting on a 4+. So he's going to throw a javelin into this archer, and he hits on a 4. This archer has a 6+ save, so it's not looking too good. No, he's just about failed. So let's stick that wound on there. And now we have this guy up here. He's going to fire a pot shot into this spearman, because as I said earlier, spears, halberds, they're expensive and they're very valuable. So if he can pull this off, let's see. Hordelings hit on 5+. He moved, so he's down to a 6+ to hit this turn. Nope, he's missed. And finally, we have this archer taking a pot shot at this mounted noble. Again, 6+ because he moved. Oh, he would have hit if he hadn't moved, but never mind. So, now that we've done it, we now have to remove casualties at the end of the missile phase. So this archer is gone. This mounted warrior is gone, which is a serious blow. And this hordeling up here is gone. Another blow to the hordes. That is the end of the missile phase. We now go into the melee phase because there are models who can attack. We have this militiaman with a spear who's within 2-inch range of that guy. Let's just double check. I'm sure certain he is. Yeah, he is just about in range. So, and that halberdier is in range, 2 inches of him. Now, in Legend of Mythra, the game is generally simultaneous. However, some weapons, such as spears, halberds, pikes, they've got an obvious length and range advantage. So, spears and polearms will fight first. These guys can't actually fight anyway because they're not in base contact. But that will become relevant in later turns. Let's just resolve some attacks here. So we've got 1 attack against this guy, 4+ to hit. Okay, he's managed to hit. Now this model, who in every tutorial and in my last game with my friend, has been invincible. He never dies and he kills lots of enemies. So I'd be surprised if he fails this. He's got a 4-up save. He's saved. He always... Anyway, it's... I'm not surprised. Now we have this guy with his halberd attacking this militiaman. So he hits him a 4+. Again, he's hit. Now this militiaman does not have some divine flute protecting him. So he's got a 5-up save. Halberds are -1. In Legend of Mythra, a -1 armor penetration is very significant. You can cut through knights, anything. So when you've got light armor, this militiaman does, he's in trouble. He's got a 5+ going down to a 6+. He rolls a 6. Phenomenal. There you go. Never underestimate a tin helmet and a bit of textile armor. That is the end of the turn. Morale is not coming into the game yet. Morale is basically an exceptional circumstance which only comes into play when you're facing undead or monsters or something. As no one is in contact with any undead yet, that is the turn. Okay, we now go to the next turn. The kingdom player still has the initiative, so he gets to move first. I mean, in this scenario, there's no way for the hordes to take the initiative. But if he got more objective points, he would then have the initiative. So, what is the kingdom player going to do? What's the best way to optimise this? Now, this guy's standing back here. He's now guarding a dead. There's no point in standing there because the archer's dead. So he might as well get stuck in. So he's going to do a nice charge directly forward. So remember, +2 to your movement when you're charging. Straight line, bang into there. We then have this warrior. He's got a great axe, so he's very useful. He can't really draw line of sight. Can you see that guy? No, he's behind a rock. So what this guy's going to do is maybe let's do some other stuff first. Actually, this man at arms is going to take a bit of a risk. He's going to come forward up to here. And he's got 4 play arm. He's got 2+ save, so he's quite confident in his ability to survive. This spearman is going to kind of come here defensively. See, with your spears, you're more likely armed spearmen. They're expensive, but they're very useful. So you want to keep them alive, get them into positions where they can attack but can't be attacked. This militiaman, he could go charging in and hold this guy up. It is almost certainly a death sentence though, but it will hold the enemy up for a turn. I still don't have line of sight for this this great weapon trooper. So what he's going to do is kind of come. That was a badly placed guy. He's going to come up to here and just see what happens next turn. He's not really vulnerable to archery. Archers cannot see through combats, so he should be okay there for next turn. Anyway, let's just stay there. I've got this archer here who can do some pot shots. Okay, so that is the kingdom player's turn. Now it's time for some hordes action. Bit of a no-brainer here. This undead, who only moves 4 inches, undead can't run. He's going to come forward up to there, into that man at arms. We've got 2 halberds now. We can bring this halberd up. See, halberdiers don't need line of sight. No polearm troops do. In order to, they can be hidden, come out, and then still get to attack up to 2 inches. So they're really powerful. They're really useful. See, this guy's in a good position because he can attack that way or that way. So if I manage to kill him, he can attack that guy. This warrior is going to come up to here and hide behind this. So 200 troopers against crossbows. They've got no shields. They're in big trouble. So he wants to hide as long as possible. And that should do. The archer's going to take another pot shot at the mounted noble. And that is it. Okay, now we go into the shooting phase. We're just going to roll this guy's dice first. He can't see. No, oh, he can see that halberdier. That is a serious mistake on my part. I should have moved that halberdier to safety, really. It's a bit of a tricky shot. I think we're going to give that a -1 to hit, because he's kind of behind the rock. He's kind of concealed. So he's going to have a pot shot at this halberdier. Because he's on a horse, he's a bit higher. I would say that's line of sight. So 4 up, he manages to hit. This is going to be very dangerous for the halberdier. Oh, he's hit him. That halberdier saves on a 6+ now. It's 5+ down to 6+. No, that was a flop. So put a wound on him in movement in the turn. That was a mistake on my part. And now we have this, when you're doing everything, you make them... Oh, this archer is now going to shoot him. 5 up to hit. Misses. Okay, end of the missile phase. Remove casualties. Unlucky halberdier. He got taken right out. Okay, now we go on to the melee phase. So we've got quite a lot of long weapons in action here. We've got spear, a halberd, another halberd. So, first of all, spears, polearms, long weapons, strike first. Let's resolve all of them first. So, this halberdier. Now this halberdier, he would love to use his halberd to have a go at this warrior. Or this halberdier. But however, you have to fight enemies in base contact first. Even if you've got a long weapon. So he's now being engaged by this nasty undead. So he has to attack him. So he's going to roll, he needs a 3+ to hit. And he's hit. This undead troop has a 5+ save down to a 6+ because halberds have a -1. That's a 5. So he causes a wound. Undead have 2 wounds. They're slow, but they're tough. Now this spearman, he could go for him, or he can try and finish off this undead. This undead's got a great axe, which is a -2 armor penetration, which is basically a tin opener, 50% chance of killing him. So he's going to try and save his comrade by attacking that way. 4+ to hit. He's hit. 5 up save. Okay, the unlucky, he takes another wound. He is most certainly dead. We're going to take him off at the end of the turn. Actually, he's not going to get to attack, so that's it. We can just lie him down, he's dead. He doesn't get to do any more this turn. Now we have this halberdier. He's got this guy and this guy in range. So he's going to go for this guy, he's more dangerous. So 4 up to hit. He's hit. He has a 3 up save, going down to a 4 up save. This is the warrior. Okay, he manages to save. Very, very good rolling from the Kingdom player. Now, all the first strike weapons have attacked, all the long weapons have attacked. Now we go into regular striking weapons. So over here we've got a swordsman versus a militiaman. Swords, they're not the king of the battlefield unlike in other fantasy games, but they're not too bad in this game. If you roll a 6 to hit with a sword, it does 2 hits to the model you're striking. So there's a 1 in 6 chance of that happening. No, he's missed. Okay. Now the militiaman gets to poke back with his little hand weapon. No special rules on hand weapon. 4 up to hit. He's hit. 4 up save on the warrior. He's failed. Every tutorial, one side gets really lucky, the other side gets unlucky. Every time. This time it's the horde player that's getting unlucky. Okay, finally we have this this combat. Now this guy always rolls well, so let's see if he does it again. 4+ to hit. No, he's missed. Okay, their luck has collapsed. We've now got a sword attack back. 3 up to hit. He's hit. He needs a 4 up save. Hopefully he makes it so the tutorial doesn't... Yes, he's made it. Okay, good. The tutorial isn't going to be a complete one-sided slaughterfest of bad luck for the one player. So that's the turn. It's not looking too good now for the Hordes player. We're now going to do another turn. The Kingdom player gets to move first. He is going to charge in here to hold up this halberdier. Then don't really lose anything by charging you into there. This spearman is going to move in between these two. He could decide who to attack. And we have a halberdier here. He's got a lot of freedom to go where he wants. He is going to come like this. So he can also attack in multiple directions. And finally, my mounted crossbowman, I think he's just going to try and pick off that archer. But I know that archer can just move. That's the problem. So, what to do with him? I think move forwards, forego 1 turn of shooting, Just move. He's got an 8-inch move. Can he slip? No, he can't really slip through there. He's going to come up to here basically. Next turn he can slip round. He's going to run around that way. Next turn he's in a good position to shoot, and he can also charge in if need be. So the Hordes player has only one thing to do with his archer. He could, can he take a pot shot at anyone? Not from there. He's going to take a huge risk. He's going to risk it for a biscuit here. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to show you guys shooting into combat. So he's going to come up to here. So he's going to take a pot shot at that guy. Oh, actually, you can try and take out that spearman, actually. Yeah, let's do the slightly sensible thing. Okay, shooting phase. He moved. Crossbows can't shoot when they move. This guy can shoot at him, but he needs a 6 to hit. Come on, Fluke. There we go. Finally. He's got a 5 up save. Up to a 4+, he's got shield. Bows have no armor penetration. Okay, he saves. The Kingdom player is just getting too fluky for this game. Okay, we go into melee combat. Long weapons get to strike first. This halberdier is going to go for this halberdier in the back. 3 or more to hit. 5, he's hit him. And he's now got a 6 up save. Nope, he's failed. So put a wound marker on him. Then we've got this spearman. You see, now because this guy's dead, this spearman also has this guy to attack. So it's a very good idea to put your long weapons in between enemies so that you can choose later on. So he's going to attack this way. 4 up to hit. Missed. Okay. And finally, this halberdier. Now he would love to fight back that way, but he has to fight enemies in base contact first. So he is hitting on a 4+. Hit. He's got a 6 up save. Nope, failed. So, I mean, a halberdier is worth much more than a militiaman, so that's not a good trade-off there. We'll just take him off now, I guess. That's all the long weapon attacks. Now we go into the regular attackers. So, great weapons don't strike last in this game because watch any kind of video tutorial of a great swordsman or Danax and you'll see why they don't strike last. These weapons are not like clumsy, they're really, in the hands of a strong guy, they're just as fast. So even great weapons fight at the same time as regular weapons. We're just going to go here first. So 3+, the warrior hitting this guy. Okay, he's hit. He's got a 4 up save. He saves again. 3 saves in one game. He now gets to strike back. 4 up to hit. Okay, finally we're going to got some damage. He's got a 4 up save. Can he make it? No. This warrior, every tutorial, every game, he just is really lucky. But the Hordes player needs a bit of luck now. So finally we have this clash of great weapons. So this warrior hits on 3+, -2 armor penetration. He's missed. Come on, Hordes, let's get some Fluke. 4+ to hit with this guy. Oh, he's missed as well. Okay. Well, at least it's looking a tiny little bit more balanced after a couple of casualties. So now we'll go to the next turn. The Kingdom player has the turn. He is going to, I want to demonstrate what happens when you get 2 and 1. So I'm going to charge here with 2 models. 1, 2. He can't actually do anything. If you're engaged, you can't move. And this spearman, it's a kind of no-brainer, isn't it? He's going to go for that. Okay. So the Hordes player, he can't do anything now. He's completely locked down. All we can do is fight and fight and fight. So now we go into long weapons. There's only 2 long weapons left here for striking. These 2. So this halberdier, can he kill the invincible warrior? He needs a 3 up to hit. No, he missed. Oh my days. And now we have this spearman, 4 up to hit and kill that hordeling. He's missed as well. Okay. This could be the end of the Kingdom's Fluke. We now go into regular attackers. Let's do this hordeling archer. Hits on a 5+. He misses. Over here, this duel. 3 up to hit and kill. No, he misses again. This great axeman, 4 up to hit. He's managed to hit him. Now this warrior has a 4+ save, down to a 6+. He's getting hit by a great axe. So he's in trouble. He's dead. The Hordes are turning it. And now we have this combat over here. Now this warrior is outnumbered 2 to 1. So the Kingdom player can choose where his first attack goes. He's only got 1 attack. So the Kingdom player is going to force him to attack this plate armored warrior. He'd much rather attack this less full armored guy, but his hand is being played. So if you outnumber your enemy, you can put a heavily armored troop in with like a lightly armored troop and then force the enemy to hit the heavy armored guy. That's what's going to happen now. So 4 up and this guy hits the man at arms. 2, he misses. So now it's time for this mounted noble with his sword, 3 up to hit. He scores a hit, and we'll do his steed as well. In the last tutorial, the steed killed loads of people, so he hits on a 4+ the steed. Okay, the steed hits again. So let's roll a 4+ save against the sword. He's saved, but we all know it's the steed that does the killing. So on a 4, if he doesn't make this, so the steed again. It's so weird how like every game this guy does disproportionately well, and every game that steed does disproportionately. It's so funny. Anyway, it's not looking great now for the Horde player, but they've managed to claw it back a bit. We'll just do one last turn for the hell of it. So last turn, the Kingdom player is going to charge in here, lock him down, and just to add a little insult to injury, and also to demonstrate shooting into combat, I'm going to take a bit of a risk and shoot this standard missile phase. He's now going to shoot into this combat, just to demonstrate it really. So when you shoot into combat, you roll to hit as normal, but if you roll a 1, the enemy gets to choose who you hit. So if he had this plate armored warrior, if there was a more lightly armored warrior, like a mage or something in combat, and you rolled a 1, the Horde player could force you to take a save on the mage. So 3 up to hit, he hits. He's got a 5 up save down to 6+. Nope, failed. Good shot. Had he missed that, he might have hit his own guy. And finally, combat phase. I don't think. Oh, he's also just about in range. I think. I think that's about in range. So that Hordling archer is now going to get a spear and a halberd basically going into him. So I think that's in range. Anyway, let's just roll for the spear. Missed. We'll just assume he was in range. I don't know. I can't really measure it from here. Okay, he's hit him and killed him. If he hadn't done that, he would have missed anyway. So there you go. Lucky it ended up being a bit closer than earlier before, but obviously the Kingdom player got lucky in that game. In small games, a little bit of fluke can really swing it, but because all the units are carefully designed and balanced against each other, so games are normally quite close. But that is a straightforward, simple game of Legend of Mythra. The one thing we didn't get to see in that game was morale. So let's just to show you morale, let's say this undead bursts out and gets charged. He got charged. Let's say this undead guy survived this insane charge, right? So the way morale works, morale only activates when you're fighting a fear-causing enemy. So undead, monsters, certain mages casting spells, demons, etc. So that's the only time morale activates. The way morale activates is you count all of your models that are in base contact with a fear causer. So here we're in base contact, we have 1, 2, 3 models in base contact with him. All of those models, you roll the dice together. Doesn't matter where they're on the battlefield, roll all the dice together. For every 1 you roll, 1 model's morale fails. So that was all passes. Let's roll again just to demonstrate it. Ah, wow. So here, 2 models have failed morale. They've been spooked by that undead. So the Kingdom player now gets to choose 2 models to fall back. So he will choose this Militia Man. Basically, when you fall back, you just move your full distance and you're shocked. You can't do anything. I need to put a token down on him. You put a token, a broken token or whatever. And then one other model, this mounted noble with a crossbow, he can shoot, so he gets him one as well. You can turn him around just to make it look better. And that's it. Morale is really simple. And then they'll miss a whole turn, and at the end of that turn, they'll come back again. That's it. If they were engaged again, they could potentially fail morale again and run again. There's no running off the board in this game, and you automatically rally, so it's kind of it's quite forgiving, the morale system. But as you can see, fear-causing models can reduce the efficiency of your troops. Not in a game-changing way, but at the key moment it can be quite bad. And yeah, those are all the basics of the game. I don't think I missed anything. That is movement, missile, melee and morale. In the next game I'm going to be covering magic, monsters, heroes, objectives. But until then, hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, check out Legend of Mythra.